Hello, this is Chloe Belinga, and I will be presenting on the best-selling cards within the Pokemon set Stellar Crown Part 2. What that basically implies is that I have analyzed the set before, and now a couple months later I am analyzing it again to see what our new bestsellers are this month in relation to the set, as well as maybe looking at some changes that might have occurred in trends since a couple months ago. First, I'm going to go over how I choose and calculate my top 10. When choosing the top 10 bestsellers, I pay most of my attention to sales volume, market price, and market price changes. This is because in my eyes, the best-selling cards are those that are selling a lot at a relatively high price, considering the card's history and the type of card it is. In order to do this, I look at the top 15 most popular on price charting, and then the top 15 best-selling on TCG Player related to the set. I then collect all those cards and rank them all based on individual categories, specifically price point, price change, and sales volume. From there, I calculate the final ranking using a point system based on their placements in each individual category. For example, first place in price point would get the most amount of points, and then last place in price point would get 1 point, and then I just applied that to the other placements in all the other categories. From there, I'd combine those points to get their final score to therefore get my top 10 bestsellers. From here on out, each slide will contain an explanation of why I believe it is within the top 10. We're also going to have a few honorary mentions at the end, and these are just cards that were in the top 10 before and are no longer in the top 10 for one reason or another. Starting with our number 1 card, which was previously ranked number 9. This is Crispin 164. This is an ultra rare card, a relatively high rarity tier that attracts collectors. In addition, this is a full art trainer card, so that means it takes advantage of the full art trainer effect. This just refers to the fact that for some reason full art trainer cards almost always perform very well. There isn't a specific reason as to why. It just seems that fans and collectors like people on their cards as opposed to Pokemon, or a little bit more than Pokemon, since it's a little rarer to see people on cards as opposed to Pokemon. And then specifically, this is a Crispin card. So Crispin carries a lot of story relevance within the Scarlet and Violet video game, being a member of the BB League Elite Four, which I think is part of the DLC for the video game. And so he carries a lot of lore and story relevance, making him quite popular among the fandom. And yeah, this is a Ryzen ranking. Next, we have Lapras EX158, which was previously ranked number 4. It is now ranked number 2. This is an ultra rare card, a relatively high rarity tier that attracts collectors, and so collectors will want this card. This is Lapras. Lapras is a generally well-liked Pokemon in the community due to the Pokemon's nature and personality, as well as its design. It also carries a lot of nostalgia factor since it is from Gen 1, and Gen 1 Pokemon tend to be very popular because of nostalgia appeal. In addition, this artwork, the art style specifically, matches the art of other ultra rares within the set, as well as just other overall cards within the set. And so because it shares the same art style as other cards, its collectability kind of goes up, in that collectors will want to buy all cards of matching art styles, and so because it has other cards attached to it, their popularity all kind of rises up because they are all more collectible because of it. Next, we have Meditite 153. This is our rank number 3 now, and not only was it not within the top 10 last time, it wasn't even considered in the calculation. So like I said, when I collected the top 15 from the 2 websites, this is not one of the cards that I collected and then calculated to be considered within the top 10, which is why its previous ranking says NA, so this is kind of a new one, as can kind of be indicated by its growing price change and sort of sales volume here. As to why it's up here now, this is an illustration rare, which is a full art, and illustration rares are always sought after by collectors regardless of Pokemon or artwork. Collectors just really like them, and so their sales volume is usually up there. In addition, this is Meditite. Meditite is a well-known Pokemon within the fandom due to its unique design and its typing. And then this artwork is just really nice. We have off-centered positioning and a unique situation scene that attracts collectors and fans to this card. Next, we have Bulbasaur 143. While this card was not within our top 10 last time, it is now ranked number 4. But while this card wasn't within our top 10 last time, it was ranked number 17. This is a card that I honorary mentioned because this was a card that I expected to be within the top 10, and now it is. Why it's up here now, this is another illustration rare, so collectors are going to like it. Bulbasaur is a Gen 1 starter Pokemon, so that makes it immediately popular due to nostalgia appeal and narrative relevance both within the anime and within the video game. And then this is a full art that depicts a calm, peaceful scene, and those tend to sell really well. In terms of artwork, we also have very soft lighting and coloring, which attracts fans and collectors who like the sort of calm nature of Bulbasaur. Next, our number 5 card is Squirtle 148. This was another one that did not make it within our top 10, but that I honorary mentioned. because I thought it should have been within the top 10, and now it is. This is another illustration rare, so collectors want it. Squirtle, like Bulbasaur, is a Gen 1 starting Pokemon, so it also carries that nostalgia appeal and narrative relevance that boosts its popularity. And once again, another full art that depicts a calm, peaceful scene with Squirtle in the pool. And this art is more playful, which matches the more playful nature of Squirtle. And so this art will attract fans and collectors because of that. This is our number 6 card. This is Reboot 147. This card was within our top 10 last time. It was previously ranked number 2. This is another illustration rare, so collectors want it. In terms of Pokemon popularity, while Reboot is not the most popular starter evolution, it is still part of a starter evolution line, and therefore holds popularity within the fandom due to narrative relevance within the anime and video game. In addition, this art style is just very appealing. It is very appealing and detailed, and it plays with light and movement very well, which makes it appealing to collectors and fans. In addition, this is a card that is collectible because collectors will buy this card to go with the Cinderace card, so they can have the evolution line of Scorbunny. As in, there was also a popular Chase Cinderace ultra rare card that is part of the same evolution line as Reboot, which is the Scorbunny evolution line. And so because they are both within the same set, even if their art styles aren't the same, because they are part of the same evolution line, because they are part of the same set, collectors will want to buy both of them. And so that ups the collectability, which ups the demand for Reboot as well. This is our number 7 card, which was also number 7 before. This is Milcery 152. This is another illustration rare, so cards will like it. In terms of the Pokemon itself, Milcery is a cute fairy type Pokemon, which makes it immediately appealing to the Pokemon fan base. They just really like fairy types. And this artwork really supports that fact. We have a soft art style with a pastel art palette that speaks well to what makes Milcery so likable. And so that makes this card very appealing to fans and collectors. In addition, this card is also very visually distinctive to the rest of the set due to its color palette and its softer lines. Like as you notice in like the Squirtle card, we kind of have harder, dark line art. Same with Metatite, same with Crispin. It's just a card that stands out from the rest of them because of its color palette. Because of this, it attracts and catches the eye of collectors. Next, our number 8 card, which is Joltik 150. It was also previously within our top 10, specifically at number 10. We have another illustration rare, so collectors like it. In terms of the Pokemon itself, Joltik is a cute electric-type Pokemon, so that makes it reminiscent of Pikachu, and it therefore gains popularity from the Pokemon fan base. Pokemon that are reminiscent of Pikachu, which is basically cute electro types, tend to be quite popular among the fan base because of it. In addition, this artwork is quite unique. It has a limited but character-relevant color palette with the yellows and purples, and an art style that plays very well with shapes. In addition, this is a full art that plays with scale, and full arts that play with scale often do well. As Joltik is quite a small Pokemon, its cards tend to perform well when artists get creative with its tinier size. Next, we have our number 9 card, which was previously number 5. This is Crabominable 149. This is an illustration rare, so collectors want it, like we've discussed before. In terms of the Pokemon itself, Crabominable is a Pokemon known for being big, expressive, and slightly ridiculous looking, making it relatively popular and well known, and that kind of contributes to its art style. This is artwork that is detailed and unique, and kind of holds an opposite nature to what Crabominable is mostly known for. Crabominable, like we described before, is known for being big, expressive, and slightly ridiculous, and this is more of a calmer, serious looking art style, and so that will attract the attention of fans and collectors because of that. Finally, we get to our number 10 card, which is Gulpin 154. It was previously ranked number 8, so it didn't move that much as well. Another illustration rare, so collectors want it. Gulpin as a Pokemon is a goofy Pokemon with a loyal, dedicated fan base. In other words, Gulpin fans just really like Gulpin, and so they will buy anything that has Gulpin in it. This is also a card that I like really well, and that largely lends to its artwork. This is silly, goofy art with a cartoonish art style that matches the silly, goofy nature of Gulpin. And it's also just an overall nice card to look at and have due to the scene the Gulpin is put in. We also have sort of flat colors. It's just a silly scenario that fits the nature of the Pokemon very well and appeals to a lot of people because of that. That was it for our top 10. Now we're looking at our honorary mentions. We have the Cinderace that I was mentioning earlier, Cinderace EX 157, which moved from number 1 to number 11. We have Zeraora, I hope I'm saying that right, 151. which was previously number 3 and is now at rank number 19. And we have the Lilip 145, which was previously number 6 and was no longer considered within our calculations this time. As to why these are down here, these were ones that were quite popular last time. My guess is it has something to do with reprints within the deck, similar to how some other sets we've seen have been affected in terms of sales volume because of reprints. These were relatively popular cards last time we did bestsellers, and my guess is the reprints led to higher supply of each of these cards. And with a higher supply, a lot of these cards dropped in price change or dropped in sales volume because of it, and so they were no longer considered within our top 10 compared to other cards that we've seen. That is it for my best-selling cards, or the analysis of the best-selling cards within Stellar Crowns within the Pokemon TCG.